Hello my friends and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In our last video we finished up what I'm assuming was the prologue for the whole game. It seemed like prologue. It ended very nicely. And I was probably a little overexcited. Sorry, I get really excited with new games. So that happened. And yeah, that's my awful summary. In today's video, a few things that I want to try and do today. The first of which is kind of go through my quest log and work on, I think, at least this quest, The Threat Remains, and see where that gets me. And then also I want to kind of wander around Haven and talk to people and loot things and all that good stuff. So let's look at my quest log real quick before we go anywhere else. So we have Inquisitor's Path. I'm assuming this is kind of main questy kind of stuff. At least that's what it seems like. I feel like it's spoiling me already though. Because who's the Inquisitor? I don't know what that means. But anyway, so the threat remains. The breach is calmed, but the trouble is only beginning. Report to the Haven's Chantry. And then in Haven, I like how it breaks it up by, I'm guessing by region. I've only got one region, so. But it says, Haven once offered respite for pilgrims traveling to the Temple of Sacred Ashes farther into the Frostback Mountains. In the wake of the temple's destruction, the storied village, which was also home to a dragon-worshipping cult during the Fifth Blight, now serves as a makeshift camp for those working to pick up the pieces. So we have a couple quests here. Haven's best and brightest. Even in these trying times, good help is not so hard to find. Explore Haven and meet some of the Inquisition's crafting masters. So the smith, the quartermaster, and apothecary. And then know thy enemy. Some items recovered in battle may later be worth studying. Give Menave an item to research. So we have all of that to do. I don't know if we'll get it all done today, but we'll at least get started. And I don't need a quick save because I haven't really done anything. So let's go into the Chantry and see what happens next.
Does it trouble you?
I know I kind of skipped over this last time, but they kind of seem similar to the icons from Dragon Age 2. I mean, they're a little bit more clear, like confusing and, standoffish, angry, thumbs up, good, sad. I guess I'll just be confirmed that, it doesn't seem to hurt anymore. I mean, it's not doing the thing it was doing a couple of videos ago where it was like incapacitating me and knocking me off my feet.
It stops spreading and it doesn't hurt.
We take our victories where we can. What's important is that your mark is now stable, as is the breach. You've given us time, and Solas believes a second attempt might succeed, provided the mark has more power. The same level of power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
Sounds dangerous, sounds like fun. I'm still trying to kind of figure out where I'm going to go with Theron. Is he going to be... I don't know if I'm going to make him sarcastic. Maybe I'll make him more practical. I guess that's closer to how Edward was, but Edward was like a mixture of both. And I feel like maybe that'll be Theron? I don't know. But yeah, it does sound like she has some sort of idea in mind.
Clearly, you have something in mind.
We do.
That came off so much more snarky than I thought it would.
May I present Commander Cullen, leader of the Inquisition's forces.
What?
Such as they are. We lost many soldiers in the valley, and I fear many more before this is through.
This is Lady Josephine Montelier, our ambassador and chief diplomat.
You're even taller than I'd heard.
And of course, you know Sister Liliana.
My position here involves a degree of...
She is our spy master.
Yes, tactfully put, Cassandra.
It's Cullen from like Dragon Age Origins and 2? Really? He's here? Again? Okay, that's unexpected. Well, why am I here sounds rather rude. I don't think Theron's going to be. I don't feel like that's him. Although I keep picking the options that make him sound rude. So we'll just say a pleasure.
Pleased to meet you all.
I mentioned that your mark needs more power to close the breach for good.
Which means we must approach the rebel mages for help.
And I still disagree. The Templars could serve just as well.
We need power, Commander. Enough magic poured into that mark.
Might destroy us all. Templars could suppress the breach, weaken it, so...
Pure speculation.
I was a Templar. I know what they're capable of.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us yet. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
Yeah, that does seem quick. So I have to. So, wait a minute. I'm backing up a little bit. So, mages or Templars, that's my options. Lovely. So, they still think I did it? Well, they probably do. We're Canary, Theron. They're going to blame us for everything, right? And that was quick, and does it matter? Let's just go with the first one, see how that plays out.
They still think I'm guilty.
That is not the entirety of it any longer. Some are calling you, a Kunari, the Herald of Andraste. That frightens the Chantry. The remaining clerics have declared it blasphemy, and we, heretics, for harboring you.
Chancellor Roderick's doing, no doubt.
It limits our options. Approaching the mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Yeah, the Herald of Andraste. Explain that some more.
Just how am I the Herald of Andraste?
Right?
People saw what you did at the temple, how you stopped the breach from growing. They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first found you. They believe that was Andraste.
Even if we tried to stop that view from spreading.
Which we have not.
The point is, everyone is talking about you.
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a little unnerving. I don't know. I mean, there's something to say that. So Theron's background, I haven't read any of the codex entries yet, which I probably should have done before I came in here. But Theron's background is a Kunari, but he's Talvashoth, and he's never been to Kunari lands. He's not a follower of the Kun. So I guess he could, believe in Andraste, maybe. But I don't feel like Theron's the guy who's like, yeah, totally sent by one of your saviors from your holy chantry. I don't feel like that's him. Anyway, overthinking as usual. It's unnerving.
It's a little unsettling.
I'm sure the Chantry would agree.
People are desperate for a sign of hope. For some, you're that sign.
And to others, a symbol of everything that's gone wrong.
Let's see. So, am I the problem? I mean, could we be attacked? It seems like that's likely. And the breach doesn't worry them? Yeah, that should be the more pressing issue with everybody, right?
They aren't more concerned about the breach, the real threat.
Exactly.
They do know it's a threat. They just don't think we can stop it.
The Chantry is telling everyone you'll make it worse.
There is something you can do. A Chantry cleric by the name of Mother Giselle has asked to speak to you. She is not far and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
Why would a Chantry... what did she call her? A Chantry sister or something? Chantry mother? Why would she help us?
Why would someone from the Chantry help a declared heretic?
Yeah.
I understand she's a reasonable sort. Perhaps she does not agree with her sisters. You will find Mother Giselle tending to the wounded in the hinterlands near Redcliffe.
Look for other opportunities to expand the Inquisition's influence while you're there.
We need agents to extend our reach beyond this valley, and you're better suited than anyone to recruit them.
In the meantime, let's think of other options. I won't leave this all to the Herald.
Oh, this explains a mod that I installed. So, Operations the War Table allows you to apply the power for Ferelden, the Inquisition throughout Orlais, and Ferelden. Mother Giselle is in the hinterlands, which can be found on the Ferelden side of the table. Well, before we go there, let's see, what does Orlais say? Known for its culture of extravagant nobility, yet also as the birthplace of the Chantry, Orlais is the most powerful human nation in Thedas.
My scouts are posted on the ridges in case there's any trouble.
Okay. War Table. The Inquisition can unlock new areas for you to explore through scouting operations. Perform the scouting operation for the hinterlands on the Ferelden side of the table now. Back. Okay. And then Ferelden says, conquered by Orlais, torn by civil war, ravaged by the Fifth Blight, Ferelden is no stranger to hardship. With the Veil weakened, because it's weak everywhere in my opinion. With the Veil weakened, the land is more turbulent than ever. Okay. So I'm assuming I scout the hinterlands. Mother Giselle was last seen in the hinterlands outside Redcliffe, tending refugees who fled the fighting between renegade Templars and apostate mages. The latest report suggests that the vicious struggles between the two groups has spread to the hinterlands, catching the refugees and Mother Giselle in the middle. Wonderful. It is vital to protect her and, if possible, restore order to the area. And what is all of this stuff? Forces, secrets, connections. Secrets. If Giselle dies, any hope of Chantry support dies with her. My scouts will slip past the fighting, find her, and protect her with their lives. Is this like... This sounds like Liliana talking, maybe? Right, let's click on that. Okay, scout the hinterlands. We avoided the fighting as best we could. It's every bit as bad as we feared. The apostates are mad, attacking anything that moves, and it appears that the Templars here aren't following anyone's orders any longer. We located Mother Giselle and are trying to protect her, but she refuses to leave the refugees until we've ensured their safety. That will be hard to do without troops to push the apostates and the Templars out of the area. Commander Cullen asked me to make inquiries of Master Dennett, a retired horsemaster of Redcliffe, who lives in the area. We tried to contact him about obtaining better horses for the Inquisition, but we've been unable to get through the fighting. Lead Scout Hardy, new area unlocked. Accept report. I don't want to go there right now. Can I do it later? Operations. You have access to missions. Mission operations take time and bring the Inquisition resources and rewards. Only one mission per advisor can be active at a time. Some missions have a preferred type, which results in less time required when undertaken by the associated advisor. Missions may also provide different rewards depending on which advisor completes them. Okay, so this makes sense. So I installed a mod that was mission table no waiting, because apparently it's a recommended mod from like a bunch of websites, and apparently you could be waiting hours and hours and hours or days, I may be exaggerating, for them to complete. And while I normally don't mind about that kind of stuff, I don't want to say I'm on a timetable, but I'm kind of on a timetable when it comes to this stuff. I don't want to sit here forever. So, Black Emporium, someone told me not to even look at that, so we'll ignore that. But let's kind of look at these missions and see what we can see. So we'll start with Hard and Hightown 3, Varric's Revenge. Ruffles, I need a favor. Actually, let's call it a loan, since I'll pay it back. I got a letter from my editor in Kirkwall today. She tells me that Hard and Hightown 3, the repuncheoning, appeared in print from an Antivan printer a couple weeks ago. I'll give you a moment to contemplate that. Is that the horror that is that title? Yeah, that's repuncheoning. What? I had my contacts in the Merchants Guild look for the author a couple years back. The best I could find out after spending a couple hundred gold was that Ferel Blenforth is a pen name. I could have told them that for free. I mean, yeah. You've got contacts with Antivan print houses. Maybe you could find out more than the guild. Varric. Okay, so looks like Cullen. I could do Cullen, Lily. Oh, the 3 advisors. So I have 3 different ways of doing things, but he's not participating. So Liliana says if this author has evaded the Merchants Guild, the Crows might be a better choice for investigating him. Or Josephine. I could ask a friend in Antiva City to look into this matter, I suppose. So I guess I could be Josephine's the diplomat, Liliana's the spy, and Cullen's the soldiers. So do I want to try and like do things one way all the time? I don't know. Like, what would happen if I always pick Josephine? Although I guess she wouldn't be available all the time. Anyway, I'm overthinking this. Well, I'm guessing Ruffles refers to Josephine because she had ruffles in her shirt, right? So let's click her. And she's going to ask a friend in Antiva City to look into this matter.
At your service.
Oh, so instantly done. That's going to be nice, I think. So, my dear Josephine, I have looked into the matter of your writer. That book, by the way, is truly dreadful and has been panned by every critic in Antiva. The publisher does not know the identity of the writer. They receive manuscripts by courier. I was able to track down the courier, however, who is receiving her packages from another courier out of Kirkwall. A courier of a courier. Best of luck, Katerina Valesti. Okay. I guess that's done. Well, let's do a couple more and then, well, we'll just kind of see what happens. Scout the Storm Coast. Required power 4. What does that mean? Won't worry about it later. So, Terran of Highever. To whom it concerns, the Terraneer of Highever wishes to convey our deepest sympathies of the death of Divine Justinia V. The Most Holy was incomparable in her wisdom and dedication to peace, and we had high hopes that her conclave would succeed. We will hold a vigil in Highever in remembrance of Justinia and cordially invite the Inquisition to attend. Sincerely, Terran Fergus Kislin. Oh, it's Edward's brother. So it looks like any of them can go. So Cullen has a number of Ferelden officers. We can send an honor guard to Highever. That might be nice. I know Terran Kuslin and I knew Justinia. I can't attend, but I could write to him. That seems kind of lame. And then Josephine, we could send a diplomatic attaché of some of the Templars who knew the Divine. I feel like an honor guard might be nice. Cullen's here? Cullen's here. The card looks so much better than him. But I do like these cards. Those are really cool. Does everybody get a card? Like, does Varric get a card? Cassandra? Off topic. Commander Cullen, your honor guard was a welcome sight at the Divine's Vigil. As a measure of thanks, I am sending Ferelden arms and equipment for your troops. That's nice. So I have a long sword. Okay, a couple more. Address a nobleman's concerns. Herald, your Inquisition says it's for order against chaos, reason, and darkness. If you stand by this, come forth and drive the heretics from my lands. They claim to be refugees, but I have seen elves and apostates among them. Okay. Filthy savages tearing at our roots. Our monarch refuses to send forth armies, and my own knights were decimated at the conclave. I require your aid to return peace to my lands. Prove your loyalty, and I will see you richly rewarded for your faith. Praise the light, Lord Kildairn of Ferelden. Well, you sound like a horrible person. So Cullen says we could send a few patrols, but I prefer to help the refugees, not this Lord Kildairn. Yeah, me too. Liliana says we can take advantage of his raving. My spies can harass the refugees into moving somewhere else to win Lord Kildairn's favor. Not really. Ah, yes, Lord Kildairn, a pariah among his peers. Let's send a polite refusal and nothing more. That's a great idea, Josephine.
At your service.
So Ambassador Montilier. So the Inquisition is a hollow prank, a jest to swindle the righteous. Totally, that's totally why we're here. Nothing to do with the big thing in the sky. The tide of apostates and demons swells on my doorstep. As you do nothing, my death will be on your head and the heads of all of the other charlatans of the Inquisition, and I will leave a stain so dark the Maker himself could not remove it. Wow, you're a horrible person. And then gather coin. Up until now, Inquisition forces have had the benefit of the Chantry's deep coffers. Now the Inquisition is forced to seek out its own sources of revenue if it is going to grow further. Trade in and out of Haven is limited at this point, but there are various opportunities to earn coin, provided the Inquisition is willing to focus its efforts on the matter. So I guess I could earn coin by having Cullen send soldiers to protect caravans, or collect secrets, or trade in favors, but I don't think I need to do that right now. Okay, back. Inquisition perks, what is that? Special training for those who have joined the Inquisition's cause. In the perks menu, you can select perks that provide unique benefits to your part. Okay, I missed it. Oh my goodness, I don't have any Inquisition perks, so I don't. Let's worry about that later, I guess. Well, that's a nice way to kind of run the Inquisition. Oh, I have more codex unlocked. Lovely. World travel. When not in a dungeon, you can use the quest map to travel to distant locations. Oh, Varric approves of something. Probably the quest, the war table thing that I did for him. So M gets me to map. And then we've got world map. That's new. Oh, I see. And I can travel. Okay, well, let's not do that on accident. Let me go to my codex entries. Actually, I want to see if there's a codex entry on me. Adar the Talvishath. Oh, it is on me, because here's my name. The Canary Parvalam Parvalam in Parvalon live under the Coon, a religious and philosophical doctrine dictating every aspect of their society. Theron Adar's parents left that restricted life before he was born, settling in the free marches and raising their child outside the Coon. Canary brought up outside their society are still feared, shunned, or misunderstood by most people in the South. The average citizen or Verlay or Ferelden assumes they are cold-blooded thralls or vicious bandits. So basically, nobody likes Theron for no reason. Well, I mean, I guess there's reasons, but no logical reason. Anyway, when Theron manifested a gift for magic, his parents arranged for a mage among the Talvishath to teach him how to control his talents. He joined the Valokas mercenary company as a young adult, making a name for himself over the years as a capable and powerful mage. Theron was hired to provide protection at the Conclave. Apparently we did a really bad job, as a neutral party to stand between the Templars and human mages after the disastrous explosion at the Temple of Sacred Ashes that killed the Divine. Adar was the only survivor. Rumors that the mysterious mark on his hand is a sign of the Maker's favor were spread by those who claimed they saw the Divine Prophet, Andraste herself, lead Adar out of the Fade. Oh, I have so many. That was Cassandra. I don't know if I want to go through all these right now. Well, let's do a couple of them. Let's do Cullen, because he's here again. So Cullen's codex entry says, whatever you have heard of Kirkwall's rebellion, the truth is far worse. I would spare you that. The remains of Kirkwall's Templars have been under my command for the past few years. So how long has it been since the end of Dragon Age 2 to Dragon Age Inquisition? Like a few, it says a few years. Is that like 2 or 3 or 5 or 10? I wonder. We have done what we could to assist with the city's recovery to restore some semblance of order, but my time here is done. Seeker Pentagast has approached me. She wishes to stop the war between mages and Templars. She has been recruiting men and women to the cause and wishes me to oversee the group's military concerns. If the conclave goes well, then we will not be needed. If not, we stand ready. I've decided to take Seeker Pentagast's offer. The circles have fallen. I can give no more to the Templar Order, nor it to me. The Maker has shown me a new path, and I must take it. Excerpt from a letter sent to Southreach by Commander Cullen. So, And we have Divine Justinia and High Chancellor Roderick. I'll read those later. And Solus. Cassandra, I understand our first order of business must be to investigate this bizarre breach in the sky and protect people from the demons descending. While my search continues, I wish to draw your attention to a new arrival at our camp, an elven apostate calling himself Solus. Solus entered the camp voluntarily, surrendering his staff to Chantry forces without protest. He is not Dalish and says that he has never been part of the circle, claiming instead to have studied magic peacefully on his own, particularly magic tied to the Fade. We should find him and talk to him. Maybe he can explain that some more. While I suspect you will be reluctant to accept the help of an apostate, Solus did come to us freely. Witnesses saw him in a nearby village at the time of the blast, so he is likely not responsible for what happened at the conclave. However, he has described the effects of the breach in enough detail to convince me that he knows more about the Fade than anyone else present. Solus has requested permission to study the lone survivor. I feel like that's very Fallout sounding. It's like Fallout 4 that's called the lone survivor, right? Or am I confusing them? Anyway, and one of the smaller rifts in hopes of finding a way to seal the breach. He has correctly guessed that it is growing and believes it will destroy the entire world unless we find a way to stop it. Unless you object, I will allow him his studies. Under proper observation, of course. It's interesting how they're doing codex entries. I wonder if that's how it's always going to be. And then Varric, yay! Varric Tethras of the Dwarven Merchants Guild of Kirkwall is a famous or infamous for two things: his books and his association with the Champion of Kirkwall, with Aaron. Aw. After the Templars and the Circles broke away from the Chantry, Divine Justinia V sent her agents to Kirkwall, where the roots of the war began, in search of answers. The champion had long since disappeared, but Varric had written a book on his friend's involvement in the destruction of the Kirkwall Chantry, and the left and right hands of the Divine located him with surprising ease. They captured and interrogated him, then brought him to the Conclave to give his testimony to the Divine in person, but fate decreed that he would never meet her. So I guess in Dragon Age 2 you had the Varric and Cassandra cutscenes where he was being questioned by her, interrogated. So that must have taken place well after Dragon Age 2, like the actual story ended, because he had to write a book. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So he had to write a book and all that stuff. So show image. Oh, that's cool. So it does look like everybody gets their own little cards. That's really cool. Oh, Lily. We'll have to look at Lily. She has many names. Most know her as Sister Liliana or the Nightingale. Some refuse to speak her name at all, referring to her only as the left hand of the Divine, the shadow behind the Sunburst throne. The spy master Marjolaine trained Liliana from a young age for years. Liliana was Marjolaine's instrument in the great game of Orlais. While Liliana was devoted to Marjolaine, the reverse was not true. Could we say Marjolaine's name anymore in this paragraph? Marjolaine betrayed Liliana and almost succeeded in killing her. Liliana survived the betrayal thanks to revered Mother Dorothea, who was the Divine who died. Awkward. Okay, following this betrayal, Liliana spent several years in a cloister in Ferelden, hiding from her past. Inspired by revered Mother Dorothea, Liliana dedicated herself to her faith, discovering peace in a simple life of devotion. But when the Fifth Blight began, she received what she believed a vision from the Maker. This prompted her to leave Sanctuary, taking up arms against the Darkspawn. Several years after the defeat of the Archdemon, Liliana received a summons from Dorothea, now Divine Justinia V. She returned to Orlais to become an agent of the Sunburst throne. Justinia perished in the explosion that destroyed the Divine Conclave, and Liliana became a founding member and spy master of the new Inquisition. So I guess some of them are like letters like Cassandra and Cullen's were, and some of them are just going to be like factual entries. Like this one's a letter. Oh, that'll be interesting to read. So let's read Josephine Montillier's and then take a break from reading all codex entries. So Secret Cassandra, Josephine Montilier, is a noble from the nation of Antiva, where she was educated in Valvareo, where she built connections among the court. Once she finished her schooling at a surprisingly young age, Lady Montilia became the official diplomat between King Fulgeno of Antiva to Empress Celine of Orlais. The appointment suits her. She is well-traveled, familiar with many forms of etiquette, and by all accounts, a skilled negotiator. If that endorsement does not suffice, Josephine is a personal friend. I have faith in her. We require someone both influential and trustworthy to be an ambassador for the Inquisition. You cannot tell me you would prefer to take the job yourself, Sister Liliana. Yeah. Cassandra, I don't know her that well, but she doesn't seem very diplomatic, I guess is the right word. Wow, I have so many codex entries to go through. But I will do that. I'll do that later. Okay, well, let's save after all of that. So we have an update to the threat remains. So we need to travel to the hinterlands to speak with Mother Giselle. And then we have Balomir and Stormcoast. I'm guessing these are just new regions that I need to discover and then go to, like the, what is it, the hinterlands. So all right, that was a lot. That was a lot of information that I read today. No wonder I lost my voice. This is where I'm going to end things for today. Hopefully tomorrow we can actually explore Haven some more, but I feel like it was good to kind of read all the stuff with the war table, and I'll have to do those in like small little, I don't know, people have like war table episodes or something, or videos, not episodes. What am I talking about? Anyway, babbling. So tomorrow, hopefully we will explore Haven some, and then I don't think we'll get to the hinterlands tomorrow, but probably in the next day or two, I would hope. Cross fingers. Anyway, thank you as always so much for watching. Oh, Darren is really dark. Let's try to get him in some light. There we go. There we go. That's better. Anyway, as I was saying, thank you as always so much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow with another new Dragon Age Inquisition video.